Give a nini and breath. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hey guys. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first video to watch on Life Like Bunny, hi, welcome. Fuck. Sorry guys, joking an ice cream. Story time. Oh yeah, I've had a bit of Ugandan porridge. It really tastes nice. And I just thought, what's better than doing a story time? And also I've been planning to do this video for a few days, and I've been trying to get into a mood to do it because these stories, some of them are like traumatic. Kind of, because it's school. Who doesn't find school traumatic? But if you've read the title, the video today is going to be about basically my boarding school experience. If you did not know, I went to boarding school in Uganda before I moved to the UK, from ages of 9 up to the age of, what age did I come out? Age of 13 years old. And literally I was chronologically in boarding school from that entire time. Like I was barely going back home or anything. There wasn't any gap between it. So my whole childhood is like mainly boarding school experiences. I just thought I would make a video about it. Get it out. If anyone relates, you know, it's kind of nice. We can kiki in the comment section and talk about it, squeeze each other's wounds, or you know, laugh about whatever. I don't know what I'm gonna title this video, but it might be something along the lines of looking back at my boarding school experiences now that I am older. I went to boarding school in Africa, as I said, in Uganda, and that was from age of 9. The way I happened to go to boarding school is a very, very, very interesting story. It's not like my parents wanted to ship me off. It's not like my mom wanted to ship me off or my dad wanted to ship me off. I actually begged my dad specifically, to let me go to boarding school as a birthday present because I really wanted to go so badly. The reason being, it's because, like, you know, if you watched my previous video about my step bitch and how the bitch tried to drown me, she had a daughter. And the daughter at the time was attending boarding school, and whenever she had to go to school, or whenever they used to like visit her, because there's like this thing called visitation days where your parents come and visit you, give you food, give you money, like pocket money, like replenish all your supplies and everything. So like one time we went to visit her, and the amount of like stuff they bought her, and at the time she was like 8 years old. Like we were the same age, but we were like a year before I went to my own, you know, boarding school. They bought her so much shit. Like they'll be making her like daddies. If you're Ugandan, you know what daddies are, or if you're Nigerian, it's very similar to chin chin, but daddies are more square and like thicker and less dry. Sorry, chin chin was dry. I cannot say chin chin is dry when the one I ate was from Sainsbury's, right? Anyway. They were buying like a big giant needle for her, like doing hard corn, boiling it, and they would do like this thing where they boil like onions in oil and they put it in a bottle to, like, you know, flavor up your food. There's just so much shit they were buying, like biscuits, new clothes, everything, and you fit in like 2 suitcases. And I'm like, I want this. I fucking want this. When we went to that visitation, my next, like, what I had on my agenda from then on was like, I fucking have to get this shit. I don't care what it has to take. I didn't realize that in boarding school you stay there. I didn't even get that properly. To me, I just wanted the fucking shit, and I knew boarding school equals to shit. So I told my mom, like, I want to go to boarding school. I want to get all the stuff that she got because, you know, I want food and clothes and everything. And she's like, your birthday is coming up, so you can just ask your dad if you wanted that. Comes my birthday, and my dad calls. Say, hey Shmin, you're right, you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. Did that we talk? Not that long conversation. By the way, if I didn't mention, by that time my dad was living in the UK, and I was on holiday at my mom's because I did not live with my mom. I used to just go there for holiday. But anyway, I was at my mom's, and then on my birthday. So my dad called. So what he used to do is basically not on my birthday. Every single time he would call, he would ask, what would you like? Would you like anything, or do you need anything? Stuff like that. Basically just trying to like make sure provided for as dads do. Then I was just like, I would like to go to boarding school because it's nice. That's what I said. And he's just like, really? Are you sure you want to go? And I was just like, yes, I fucking want to go. And he was like, is that what you want? Are you sure? I was like, yes, that's what I want. So we agreed that we're going to go to boarding school. So my mom then was on a hunt for the right school. Luckily, one of my cousins, my half-sister, my mom's daughter, her cousin, which is also kind of my cousin, was going to this school. I'll call it decorated. If you were to go with me and you happen to stand on this video, you would laugh. But anyway, we'll call this school decorated. So she was going to this school and my mom was just like, okay. And at the time I was in primary 4. I was going into primary 4, which is year 4 equivalent in the UK. 9 years old. Yeah, primary 4. And my mom was like, she needs someone to look after her while she's at school. So if we put her in decorated, where the cousin is, who was in year 7 at the time, she can look after her and make sure she watches out for me, because that was like the first time I was going to be on my own without like any family member around me, and that's like not easy, when you're like 9. So that's the school we chose, and oh god, the first fucking night, the worst fucking thing happened. The first night is probably one of the worst experiences like in the entire my boarding school stay for the entire 4 to 5 years. Basically what happened, when you go to boarding school, your parents buy you this stuff, because I got to get my shit. I got my needle, my daddy's, my clothes, my shit, because you have to get like Saturday clothes. That's why we had to do some clothing shopping, because on weekends, especially on Saturdays, you had to wear like normal school clothing, because they wanted us to blend in with the day school kids. Day school kids means kids who used to come to school and have to go back, and they didn't stay at the school. Anyway, I got all my shit, came to school. One of the things I bought was a blue bucket. It was a blue bucket because they didn't have showers with water, like it's gonna fall on your fucking head. We had to use buckets, and you use the bucket to fetch your water and keep it in, and to wash your laundry and stuff like that. So anyway, so I got what I assumed was my bucket at the night, because I was in a bottom bank my first term. I was in the bottom bank and I had my bucket at my bed head. So first night I come in, try to get my bucket to soak my clothes, because it's good to soak your uniform, or to soak any dirty clothes you had at the time, or the clothes I was wearing that day, like to soak them before you wash them, because it makes it very easy for your hands to wash. Because at the time, before my dad was bragging the matron, I was washing my own fucking clothes. And legs were just hard. Oh, my legs, I'm an old woman. Anyway, oh fuck, that actually fucking hurts. I'm very fast, it's nice. Continuing with what I was saying, I had to readjust because of the position I was in. That day, I had the bucket, because the bucket, as I said, I had it by the bed head, because people steal your water in boarding school if you fucking know. In fact, comment down below if you had your water stolen at some point and how you had to survive. Because what I had to do is bribe other kids with money, or with like needle or some spare something, or I'll do your homework or something to get emergency water if you did not have it very close to you, or if you put your water in where everybody put their water, you'd have it sleeping with you like money. Boarding school was rough. So in the middle of the night, we had come from class and I had come inside the dormitory and I was going to start washing my clothes. So I picked up the bucket from the head place and I was going to start washing my clothes that had soaked, and the next thing I had was a in my head, and I was just confused for a second. I was just like, what went on? And I look up and it is because when you're like 8 years old, 8 years old, you're like the smallest thing basically apart from babies. And when I looked up like this, it was just like this big lady. She was not that big, she was just in year 7, which is like 12. She was just a 12-year-old, but I was 9. So they looked very fucking big and scary. So I looked up to her like that and she was angriest face in the fucking world. And I was like confused. Just like, how could a human being be this fucking angry? It didn't make sense. I didn't even know what was going on. I thought I was getting hit for existing in that place. I just like, maybe she just doesn't want me to exist in this boarding school because I'm young. Because that time I hadn't even made friends yet, so I did not know that young people were here too. Because I even grasped the concept of boarding school. I just wanted clothes and fancy shit. But anyway, and then before I could react, the next thing I could see is my cousin, the one I told you about, who was also in year 7, because they were both in year 7, basically bigging up to her and just being like, "What have you done?" And I was just like, oh, and I was scared even more because like these two big people are fighting, and somehow I am either the reason or I'm somehow involved, but I still don't even get how. And I was just even further scared. But in hindsight, she was trying to defend me, and they were having a fight, and she's a young girl, why are you gonna beat her? And that's how I found out it was because of the fucking goddamn blue bucket. Because the girl was like, "Oh, she used my bucket." And she's like, "Oh, you don't even beat her for using your bucket?" And I just like, "I have a blue bucket, I thought it was mine." And she's like, "See, she thought it was her bucket. Did you make sure it was your bucket?" And it was like, and then the other kids came around, and it was like this fight about buckets. And then it was just like, "Next time you touch her, you're gonna have to come through me." And I just like, oh, it feels nice to be defended. Then after I grasped that I was getting defended, it was kind of nice. And I was in the corner being like, "Yeah, I had a blue bucket. I was not just trying to be a little fucking shit stealing people's buckets. I genuinely thought it was mine." And it was the first night. I just got bedunked in the head. I beg. Imagine wanting to go to school because you want food and stuff, and somebody's like, "Bah," and it just surprised you. That's experience 1. Thank fuck I'm grown now. Because at the time when I was living in it, it felt like forever. I didn't think it was gonna age up to me. I thought that moment, I thought my head was gonna hurt permanently. Oh, this is another experience I'll say. Should I say that one? I've committed blasphemy or heresy. I did not plug my musical. I didn't. You need to listen to my music. It's Sticky Bunny Weird on Spotify. Please help me get the album to like at least 1,000 streams. Because bitch is trying to be a singer. I'm not trying to be. I am a singer. I'm just trying to get listened to by more people and get validated. So basically, the story I'm going to tell you is how I was running the cafeteria in boarding school. After a few years passed, after the experience of being bonked in the head, I became the cafeteria queen. I was in charge of all the food. I was in charge of everything. I'm trying to be dramatic, but it was basically that. What happened, at some point, I don't know, what age was I? It's like, I was about 11 to 10 years old. Some time had passed, and this is when I'm learning to adapt in boarding school, you know? And when you get given pocket money, because your parents could give you like 50k, 60k, 70k, or however much money you get given. I was a fucking idiot because I will be given, 50k or whatever, and it's supposed to last you 3 months. And it's supposed to, because samosas are like 200 shillings and at your party, and then the food is free, everything is free. You genuinely do not need to be buying most things, like the sugar is given. To be fair, they give you no sugar, so you need more sugar. But your parents still pack that for you in your suitcase, so money is just something you're supposed to have just in case. But what I used to do that is stupid is I used to use all my money to buy watches. I just wanted to have all the colors, and this lady would come in like to sell watches, and she would have like blue, purple, orange, pink, If you're Ugandan, you know. And I would used to buy like 5 watches on each arm. You know how much each costs? Like 2k or 5k, depending on the color and how popular the color is. Me spending 5k on a watch. Imagine 5k times 10. Do the math. How much is 5k times 10?
50k.
See what I just said? I'll be spending all my money in one go, and then I will have nothing. And then at the end of it, I'll just be like, and then I'll be even giving away the watches to the friends because I feel like an idiot and feel stupid having so many watches of different colors on me. It doesn't even look stylish no more. So I'll be having no money. So you know what I did? I became best friends with the canteen man. The guy, I'll call him Wari. So I befriended the guy, and you know, he was very kind to me. I befriended him, and I basically found a way at 11 years old to convince him to let me start making chapatis, start making samosas, start making, like, you know, the cassava, and literally be running and selling things to other kids. Like, he was trusting me with his safe. Like, I would be in charge of the cash and everything at 11 years old. Like, because I would do my work in school very, like, early, and I'll have about 10 to 20 minutes left. And I was very friendly with the teachers. The teachers would let me, like, leave earlier than usual, and they'll let the other kids, and then I'll go into his canteen really fast, and he'll just be like, yeah, Shimin, you can go into your station, and I'll immediately just either start making the samosas if he hadn't made those fast, or I would start selling things to other kids. And he used to give me some money for it, and also give me free food for it as a result, which was like a fair enough trade-off, because I learned how to make samosas. Because when I entered that fucking canteen, I knew nothing, and I just begged him to just teach me. I begged him to teach me. Like, stream my music. I beg go. That's how I was with him. Please teach me. And he taught me. On top of teaching me, he let me do the shit. And if you're my friend, I'll serve you first, because nepotism, bitch. And it meant that I always got the nice snacks that I had. Like, the samosas never fucking sold out, at least for me, because I already have like a bunch, you know, already kept for me. It was so nice. And even if I didn't have money, I would go, and if I stood in the line, he'll give me food for free. And it was a very nice trade-off. He was a very kind man, and because of that, I did not starve, you know. And I considered myself queen of the canteen, because he would not allow other kids to enter that canteen, but pushed my way through. And also, plus, I fucking helped him, because sometimes he would run that show by himself. Like, imagine having to do samosas and chapatis and all this stuff for like however many kids during break time, and also having to serve it to them. Like, I helped, so I was doing the serving bit and as well doing like the folding the samosas. In fact, if you watch my video that I've put up, in fact I put it up before, of me doing porridge and samosas, which are my comfort foods, you can see my skill. I speak for myself, it's quite good. So guys, I think an 11-year-old being a canteen attendant and doing basically child labor in a school is a good way to wrap up this video, because I do not know how the headmistress let that happen, because she was very, very like strong on like, those are my kids, what are you feeding my kids? She'll call us her kids. You know, the people were very like on a tight leash. You cannot do anything wrong to us, or if we reported you, like, people were like, they hated it, but she had to keep them on. Our headmistress was a woman, which was nice. Oh my god, something I just remembered. It's so rude, but like, she was like basically what would be considered a plus-size lady, yeah? And her husband was quite skinny, and the kids would genuinely be joking every single time about how she was suffocating him. What is wrong with children? Like, she suffocates him. They would bully this poor woman. And she was kind to us. And I luckily thought she knew, because it was all over the whole school. It was all over the whole school. Anyway, just thought I would end the video with that. And guys, please, if you have any questions about these basically particular two experiences in boarding school I've said, please leave them down below. If you want to know anything specific that I left out, please let me know down below. I will make sure to respond. And if you want me to make any videos about this or a part 2 like this video, it lets me know. And what else? Follow me on Instagram and listen to everything on Spotify. And thank you for watching the video and listening to everything. I really, 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 really appreciate you guys. And I'm going to be coming out with more videos soon and more story times, because I enjoy them. I find them very calming. You people. And isn't that nice? Isn't that a solid foundation for a relationship? Growing up. Hopefully no one is watching this is like 18 years younger. One old people. Let me go pack me pepper pastry. Love you guys. Bye. Stream my music.